Well, it was really interesting, Brett. We moved on to a cul-de-sac on the west side of Cleveland, St. Anthony Lane. It was really almost L-shaped, and one part of the L, they had two circles, and it was because we measured it one day. From the manhole cover in the middle of one circle to the manhole cover in the middle of the other circle was about 100 yards, and the street ended up having 16 houses on the street, and we had um, over 100 kids. I mean, it was because it was a cul-de-sac. We didn't get any traffic on the street other than the parents who would be coming home from work or the store or whatever. So we all played. It was like a playground. But when we moved in, we were the third family to move in. Your dad's family was the first to move in. And in the following spring, as stuff was going on, we had connected through school. Your dad's a year older than me, but we had connected through school, Our Lady of Angels, and discovered our love for uh, baseball, football, the Beatles, all kinds of things. And because there weren't many people at the time, we started playing a wiffle ball game in one of the cul-de-sacs, one of the circles, I should say, and we'd hit the ball out of our hand, and the other guy'd be the fielder, and we had rules to how to be safe and out and all that. And if you hit it over the curb around the circle, it was a home run. And we decided that whoever was batting would do the play-by-play. Your dad, because in his previous home had lived next to Rocky Colavito, who was a big star with the Indians at the time, and then had been traded to the Tigers a couple of years earlier. Your dad, I think the Italian connection and everything else, um, he started following the Tigers because of Rocky Colavito, and you could get the Tigers games, the signal, so easily, and hear the great Ernie Harwell doing the games, and Jimmy Dudley and Bob Neal were doing the Indians games at the time. So we had great access to announcers, and that's really how it started. Um, there were real small reels of tape, not there weren't cassettes yet, but there were portable tape recorders that you could take places. And your dad and I used to go to Indians games in the summer, and the teams weren't very good, and there weren't many people in the old ballpark, and we could go on up into the upper deck and have like an entire section to ourselves, and we would take turns doing the play-by-play, or doing the color commentary as well. And that's really how it started. My home run call that I still use here in Denver, touch 'em all time with the Rockies, like I did with the Indians, came in one of those games with your dad. I hit a home run, and just as I was touching the gas line, manhole cover, somebody's T-shirt, and then another sewer for the four bases, I just kind of blurted out "touch 'em all time" and started using it. And I don't remember what your dad's home run call was, but ironically, in my first year with the Indians in '85 on WUAB, with the legendary Joe Tate as my partner, and we could certainly talk about that, Brett. It might have been second or third game because Joe did most of the play-by-play. I did a couple of innings, and it was the first time I had a home run call, and just blurted out, touch 'em all time for Brooke Jacoby or Joe Carter. I forget who it was on that '85 team. And as we went to the commercial break at the end of the half inning, Joe said to me, where'd you come up with that home run call? And I said, well, I used it as a kid. He goes, it's pretty good. You ought to keep it. Well, if a Hall of Famer tells you to keep something, you keep it. So that's what I've done for 36 years.